Hi there. Some people have asked us how to get started with making an SFD. It's a great question and one for which I guess there are many answers. In this video, I'll signpost resources on the SFD web portal that we've provided to help people make an SFD. I'll explain what resources are available and where you can find them. So first of all, let's go to the Susanna SFD web portal and go to the Knowledge tab. This tab has a wealth of resources to help you, not only at the start, but at all steps of making an SFD, from gathering data, producing a diagram, writing an SFD report, and even having the report reviewed and uploaded onto this web portal. Firstly, there's a 5-step guide on how to make an SFD. This outlines what you'll need to do and what you'll need to think about. You're going to be doing a situational analysis of your city, but with a focus on sanitation. Therefore, you'll need to think about the location and context, including the boundary of the area that your SFD is representing, the population within that area, the different types of sanitation systems in use and how they operate. Additionally, you'll need to consider the key physical and geographical features and how they affect service delivery, and you'll need to assess the enabling environment for sanitation service delivery. You'll need to consider issues such as the policy, legislation, regulation and planning framework, as well as investment levels and equity issues. SFDs are not just about counting toilets and collecting data on treatment levels, they're about understanding how services are delivered and where are the barriers preventing good service delivery. It's such an important topic that we've dedicated a whole section of the manual to it. See section 4. To help you understand what data you need to collect, you can have a look at these technical questions. Here you'll find questions based on the sanitation chain, from containment through emptying, transport, treatment to end-use disposal. And at each step, questions focused on what proportion of the population use the different services. We've also provided some possible sources of data that you might find useful. Again, this is such an important part of the SFD process when there is a section in the manual dedicated to the subject. So at this point, you might be thinking, what if I can't find reports and I can't answer all these questions? That's a very real problem, and it's likely you will have a lot of data gaps. The best answer is to engage with people who know the city well and who could help you. Engaging with stakeholders involved in sanitation service delivery is a critical part of the SFD production process. The better the level of stakeholder engagement, the more likely it is that the SFD will be owned by local stakeholders and will be a credible representation of the situation, and the more likely, therefore, that it will help to improve the situation in the city. Section 7 provides details on how and which stakeholders to work with. So now you might have engaged with stakeholders, asked a lot of questions and compiled useful data which you would like to use to make a first iteration or draft SFD. You can do this using the graphic generator. This can be accessed through the link in the header bar at the top of the page or directly from this link here. Briefly, the SFD graphic generator is in 3 steps. Firstly, you enter information specific to your city. Secondly, you select the sanitation systems in use in your city. In step 2, you create your SFD matrix based on your sanitation systems that you selected. And then you populate the matrix with the data that you've collected. Once complete, you click this button in step 3 to draw your SFD graphic. Download buttons at the bottom of the page allow you to download the graphic as a picture file, the matrix and the selection grid as picture files, or an editable version of the SFD graphic. And you can also download the data through this button. Following the discussions with your stakeholders, you might want to edit some of the numbers that you first thought were correct. You can do this as many times as you like and save different versions. And when you click Draw SFD Graphic, having made changes, you can see that the graphic changes automatically. If you don't have access to the internet continuously, you can download versions of the graphic generator for Windows or for a Mac. The final step of the process is that once you and your collaborators have agreed that the SFD graphic is finished and a credible snapshot of the situation, you are perhaps ready to write an SFD report. And if you wish, you can have the report published on this web portal. Guidance on writing a report and publishing is available through these links. Within the Knowledge tab, you'll also find a link directly to the SFD manual. We don't recommend you read this right through from cover to cover, it's quite long, but you can certainly use it as a reference document and maybe start by reading the sections we've just referred to. In the Tools and Report Templates folder, you will find links to the manual in French and Arabic as well as English, and you will find helper tools on specific parts of the graphic generator. And the report template and guidance, which when you come to write the report, these may help you with structuring and formatting your SFD report. Alternatively, you could immerse yourself in the online training and become expert in using the graphic generator. And you can look at the online resources where you'll find presentation, videos, and within the SFD library, reports and publications, including the 120 or so SFD city reports that have been produced so far. You can search for these in the SFD's Worldwide tab, and you can use the filter to find reports that have been reviewed, for instance in a particular region, which might save you some time. And finally, you can have a read through the 41 frequently asked questions, including FAQ 14 on how do I start. The FAQs have been compiled from users' questions over the last 4 years, and you never know, you might find the answer to the problem that is preventing you from getting started has already been provided. I do hope that quick summary helps you get started. If you have any comments or further questions, please feel free to get in touch. In the meantime, thank you for listening and all the best.